Hey guys, can you believe it has now been a total of 2 whole months and actually 1 day since I had my braces put on. So if you're just now coming across this video, I had my braces, just the top ones, put on February 28th. And everything has been going amazing since, aside from a little bit of discomfort, but things are moving along and going great so far. No extractions, and I've got all 32 teeth, so I just wanted to put that out there for any of you that are new that just started watching my video. You can actually go back and watch all of my previous braces journey videos. I will have those linked down below in the description. So just to recap a little bit, I went for my first tightening on April 5th. So exactly 6 weeks after I had my top braces put on, I had them tightened. I went from a 14 gauge wire when I had my braces put on up to an 18 gauge wire. And I originally had the white arch wire, but they were out of the 18 gauge in that, so I had to go with the silver one. So that is what I have. And something new that they did was they applied or attached the ligature wires on 3 of my teeth. So I have them on this one, and this one. Basically because those teeth are turned. Not as bad though now. You can kind of see right here, I got on that little silver piece that's kind of sticking backwards right there, and then I got on here. They didn't stick on this tooth for some reason. I got on right here. So those are something new. I go back to see the orthodontist 6 weeks from April 5th, so it's already been 2 weeks in today. So another 4 weeks, so I will go and I will have these tightened again and then the bottoms put on for sure. They did confirm that with me on April 5th at my last appointment, so I will be having a full set of braces in my mouth on May 17th. So that is when I go for my next tightening and to get the bottoms put on. Exciting! So I'm really excited to get the bottoms on because obviously that's where all the crowding is. My tops weren't too bad, but down here it was... Sorry about that. I got cut off just a wee bit. My husband called. Anyways, so down here I got all the crowding going on. So I'm excited to see some progress with that because you can see I got a tooth here that is pushed back, and whenever I was younger, the reason that tooth is further back is because I had a baby tooth in front of it, obviously, and it wasn't coming out, so my permanent tooth was coming in behind it, and there wasn't enough room for it to shift forward, so I had to have the baby tooth pulled, and they told me over time the tooth would go forward, or to take my tongue and push on it, you know, and it would move up. I did that so much because I was so self-conscious about it whenever, you know, I noticed it, but the dentist kept reassuring me, oh, it'll get where it needs to get, you know, just give it some time. Maybe that was the assumption because, you know, I was a little kid and teeth were still moving in the jaw, because trying to move your teeth as a kid with braces is a lot easier, I've heard, than as an adult, because everything in your mouth as an adult, as far as your teeth in the jaw goes, it's very, very solid. So while you're a kid, everything is still growing and able to move a little bit easier. Definitely wasn't the case with me though as a kid. It did not move. It has been in that same spot ever since. So yeah, I'm really excited to see some movement going on down here. If you're just now coming across this video, when I went for my first tightening, I decided to go for it and get colored bands on my braces instead of the clear ones. The clear ones, I loved them, but after about 3 to 4 weeks, they started turning like a yellowish light brown color, and it just made my teeth look really dirty. So I decided, I'll just go with, you know, something colorful, and it was still light, so I went with the light blue, which is almost the same color as my shirt here, but they're kind of starting to take color as well. Like, I don't know, I drink a lot of coffee, so I thought about maybe when I go in for my next tightening on May 17th, why not just really go for it and go with like pink or something, you know, because I think of those colors and I'm like, I don't really see how those colors could turn, you know, a yucky color, you know, something like pink. But lighter colors, yeah, I can totally get it. Something really interesting that I wanted to share with you guys, if you watched the video before this one, the one where I did the braces 101, which is some very great helpful information I got from an article along with experience since being in braces myself. I had mentioned in that video that NSAIDs will actually slow down the progress of teeth movement. I came across actually a few articles. I will link below this video for you guys to check out and read up on it. But yeah, basically things like ibuprofen and all that, it will slow down teeth progress. You know, I don't know of the percentage, but that's what I've heard, and apparently it's been talked about for quite a few years according to the timestamp on the articles that I was reading them from. When I had my tightening done, I was eating ibuprofen like there was no tomorrow because I was in so much discomfort, you guys. Having 3 ligature ties on 3 of my front teeth and then going from a 14 to an 18 gauge wire in my mouth was very, very annoyed with me. So I was taking ibuprofen around the clock. Then when I heard from one of my friends that is a dental assistant that, you know, they can slow down the progress, that her dentist actually, they don't, if they have patients that are in ortho treatment, they don't recommend them take any kind of NSAIDs because it does slow down the progress. But I did take my ibuprofen because I was uncomfortable. I thought, how much could it really slow down my progress? Just, you know, maybe just taking it one time, you know, just until I get into the ease of things, you know, and my mouth adjusts. So I did take it for the first day after I had my adjustment. I can't remember if I took it the second day or not, but I remember very shortly after that, I haven't taken any more. So like the second day after my tightening, I haven't had anything else. And I still get a few little sensitive, tender areas here and there that just kind of come and go. But other than that, it's very manageable. It's not like I'm, you know, burying my face in a pillow crying in pain or anything like that. Ibuprofen is good, but it can also cause the lining of your stomach to shed and can cause bleeding if you take too much of it. So you got to be careful with that. I heard Aleve or Advil is better on that part, but once again, an NSAID. So I think it would be personally okay to take it, you know, for the first or second day, to not have to really worry about it slowing progress down, because I would recommend you discuss it with your orthodontist and see what they think about it. I haven't actually discussed it with my orthodontist yet because I found out about this after I had my tightening. So at my next appointment, I am going to run it by them and just see what they say, and I'll update you guys and let you know what my orthodontist thinks. Oh my goodness, you guys. So the second day after I had my tightening done, my husband and I were playing around wrestling, and he accidentally came up and hit me right in the mouth, and he got this tooth right here. And it was so sore, you guys. It literally felt like he knocked my tooth loose or out one. The pain was excruciating. So unbearable, so unbearable, and it throbbed for like a good 5 minutes after it had happened, and even up to about a week after, it felt like it was more loose than the rest of my teeth. Yeah, your teeth get loose. If you go back to my video before this one, the Braces 101, you'll hear me discussing how your teeth feel loose, if any of you aren't familiar with braces and how they feel in the mouth. It definitely does make your teeth feel like they're loose because everything has to move and shift around. So, but yeah, that tooth, that particular one that he hit by accident, it definitely felt like he knocked it loose. Soon as I had my tightening done also, I had that sensation for like the first, you know, week or so after, to constantly clench like this. Like I just wanted to bite down and chew on something. That's just, I guess, the jaw adjusting, and it's just, I don't know, it's a really weird sensation that I get. I don't know if any of you out there get that same kind of aggravating sensation, but I definitely do. My bite right now is completely out of whack. I bite down. Well, I got 2 molars that are touching, but for like the first week after, I only had 1 molar touching. Nothing on this side over here was touching because of my 1 molar that was touching on this side was keeping my mouth kind of raised up a little bit more on this side, so nothing was flush on that side. It's gotten a little bit better though since my bite has adjusted a little bit more, but it's definitely off still. I have been so reliant on my wisdom teeth to chew foods that are a little bit bigger and tougher to chew because of everything being more sensitive in the front. Ever since I had my tightening, they took my wire from this first silver bracket all the way back to this one. So that tooth, my last molar next to my wisdom tooth were the 2 teeth that I was using to chew my food, and now I've only got just my wisdom to chew with whenever I get my braces tightened because everything else is so sore. But oh my goodness, you guys, my back teeth, there's been like 1 tooth on each side, and I think it's where they extended the wire to the very last molar. That's been very uncomfortable for me, and it's been pretty consistent ever since I had my tightening. It hasn't eased up much really. I have 1 tooth that up here, and I have a silver filling in it, and when I had that filling done, my dentist told me that he had to drill so much into that tooth that he actually gave me like a sedative shot up in it after he had filled it, because he said if it's given me any issues once the numbing medicine wears off, to let him know, because he said I'll probably need a root canal on that tooth as well. So if you're just now watching this video, I've already had 1 root canal, and it was on this one here, so that's a crown. And he said that back when he tried doing everything he could to save it, but if it comes down to it and I have to have a root canal, I really hope not. But right now when I bite, because my bite is so uneven, I feel like my bottom teeth are like going right, like, okay, here's the bottom of my tooth. Here's the filling, okay? So instead of my bottom teeth just hitting flush, like the edge of my teeth down here are going right up into where that filling is, if that makes sense, because my bite is not flush. Everything is like completely out of whack. Basically, this top arch is getting wider. So it was like this, or it was like this, and he's opening it up so that he can then focus on opening up my bottom arch, so that I may not have to have any tooth extraction. So we're making room because I've got a gap here, got a gap here, one here, and here. And they're kind of hard to see, but when I floss you can really see them because it like gets everything out of there. So you can see as everything is widening, I'm getting these little gaps, so it's creating space for my teeth to move. So it looks like my bottom teeth are like caving underneath my top. You see that? Like, instead there's gaps. You can see how my teeth aren't fitting flush on top of each other. It's kind of more like this. So it looks like these are kind of folding in. So he's gonna open up my bottom arch next, where everything is where it should be. But I will end up having to wear those rubber bands on these hooks from top to bottom, so that he can keep my back bite at a good position, because the main focus is right in here, because he said my back bite was excellent. Like, everything is fitting like it should, but right now it's a little off. So you see that? I didn't have gaps, you see? So these top teeth are going like out. Interesting, huh? Amazing how ortho works. I'm trying to do this as non-invasive as possible without any tooth extractions, and I'm hoping that if worse comes to worse, maybe just my cuspids would be pulled. I'm really not wanting to have my wisdom teeth pulled because they're a little bit bigger and further back. But, you know, if I have to have them pulled, it's all worth it. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys real quick an up close of what I was talking about, where my top teeth are coming out further than my bottom teeth because he's opening up that top arch. Do you see that? And it's really weird because I can feel it with my tongue also. So when I have my mouth like this and I'm taking my tongue and I'm going like this, I can feel my top teeth are out further and my bottom teeth are more in. It's really weird because they weren't like that before. But yeah, things are moving along, and this is how, you know, I think he expects my teeth to do. I hope when I go back on the 17th, he says, wow, you're making amazing progress, and if worse comes to worse, no teeth extractions, maybe just, I think they call it IPR, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, you guys. Anyways, it's where they just go in and they just shave, like, in between teeth to create space instead of having to take teeth. I was informed that the orthodontist that I go to, they do not like to pull teeth. They do not like to pull teeth. So if I have to have teeth pulled, I know it's for a very good reason. That is pretty much it for this update, you guys. 2 months in, I cannot believe it already. It's so crazy. I just made my second payment on my braces on the 14th. Things are going smoothly. The balance is coming down, and there's progress, and I love my orthodontists, you guys. They're so amazing where I go. They get you in. They take their time with you. They answer any questions you may have. They're very informative with you when they're doing their work, and they're super friendly and just very nice and treat you like your family. They actually have 2 different offices here where I live, and the one office I wish I went to more often is a little bit nicer, and it basically looks like you're going to a vacation lodge. That is what it looks like, a spa. Like, it is so beautiful and awesome, you guys. If I can, I'll include some pictures of it at the end of this video so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Couldn't be any happier with the orthodontist that I chose to go with. So anyways, yeah, I do want to say take your time in choosing an orthodontist, you guys. I contacted 2, and the first one that I contacted said that they weren't going to be able to get me in because I guess they deal with more of children and they have to squeeze adults in, and they weren't going to be able to get me in for like a month or something like that. So I called the other one that I was also referred to, and they were like, yep, we'll get you in right here right now. And I was like, wow, okay. So yeah, definitely take your time, and when you go for your consults, you know, to take a tour of the office and get to meet the staff and hear about your treatment plan and everything. Definitely think on it and decide if that's something that you really want to go with and do. I think either way you will be happy if you choose to go with it, because in the end you're going to have amazing results with your smile, and I think that's worth every penny. I will see you guys back here in 2 more weeks for my 10-week braces update. That'll be 2.5 months in, and then I will also see you guys again when I go for my second tightening. That is so crazy. And I'll have the bottoms on. Even more crazier. Anyways, I will see you guys here in 2 more weeks. You all take care. Bye.